That means that it's the distance with the subjects that we see. We see the moon, we see the sun, we see the everything. And because we see them, we understand that these are the sign of God. Ayah means what you can see. والشمس تجری لمستقر لها ذلك تقدیر العزیز الحکیم. You can see sun, that it moves. There is summer, winter, spring, autumn. Days get shorter, get longer. You see them. These are ayat. These are the things that you can see from distance. Teleological. It's not theological, it's teleological. And the Quran, as you know, verses of the Quran are all called ayah. Ayah means signs, the means, the means. And that means the Quran itself is a sign. Not that the universe is the sun, everything is the sun. I am the sun, you are the sun. We are all ayat. ففي كل شيء له آية تدل على أنه واحد. Everything that you see is a sign. A sign of what? A sign of the creator of God, the creator of these signs. This is called the teleological. And the Quran approves of this one too, as well, as you see. There are quite a few verses in the Quran which tells you about the اختلاف الليل والنهار. The day and night changes. These are ayat. الشمس تجري لمستقر لها والقمر قدرناه منازل. There are lots of ayat. Everything that you can look at is ayat, is the sign of Allah. The Quran approves of this as well. The third argument is the ontological argument. This is a bit difficult. In the cosmological and teleological way of appreciating God, the existence of God, not the attributes of God. These cosmological and teleological arguments proves the existence of God, not the attributes of God. They don't show that the God is the only one, monotheism. They just prove that God exists. There is a creator. There is a sign. There is a creator of the signs of ayat. But the third one, the ontological one, proves God with the attributes. What is the ontological approach, argument for the existence of God? This is a bit complicated. The first one who has in the Islamic theology, Al-Kalam, has provided us with this argument is Sheikh Reis Abu Sina. He is trying to say that you don't see God through other things. You see God through God himself. God himself provides us with the knowledge to know him. That is to say, what is God? God is the eternal, the immortal, the perfect, the all-knowing, with all the attributes. And when you think about this God with all these attributes, you are thinking about the existence of something which is perfect. And this perfect, if it is in your mind, only in your mind, it's not perfect. Because if it is only in your mind, that means that he doesn't exist outside. So he needs to be outside. It can't be perfect. It's half-truth. And that is the God which is in your mind. If it wants to be the God that you believe in, it has to be perfect, because you believe God as a perfect being. And because you believe in God as a perfect being, it has to exist. So you see, God himself, the concept of God, proves its own existence. And that is because God is immaterial, is a spirit. Nothing can actually introduce us and defines God for us except himself. Only God himself can introduce him to us. And that is why it says, شَهِدَ اللَّهُ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ. God himself provides us with the idea that there is nothing but God. God himself is the proof of God. This is the most solid approach, because in the first cosmological and the teleological argument, you use your senses. You see the signs, you see the universe. But in this one, you understand God through God. Because whatever you understand by your reason is material. It's subject of mortality. What he introduces, God introduces himself as being, is something beyond mortality, beyond matter, is a spirit. And therefore, what is the subject of physical seeing cannot be God. Only what is the subject of the way that you don't see is God. شَهِدَ اللَّهُ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ means that only God can introduce himself. And we can only understand God through God himself, not through anything else. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't, for instance, think about the ayat. Of course you have. Quran is full of ayat, it's all ayat. But they lead you to the existence of God only. They don't lead you to the perfect God. The perfect God is introduced by God himself. And that is why شَهِدَ اللَّهُ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ. I don't know whether you understand Mawlavi Rumi, Jalaluddin. He says, آنچه اندر اندیشه آید در فناست، آنچه در اندیشه ناید آن خداست. Whatever you and I appreciate with our eyes, with our intellect, reason, that is material. What is beyond these human intellect, and that is God, because that is immaterial, that is immortal. That is a very good way of the Quran, as I said, approves this argument. Shahid Allah annahu. God himself is witness to God as a perfect being. Nothing else. And the last approach, which is very good actually, I personally agree with that. As I said at the beginning, there is a difference between faith and religion. Faith and religion. Spiritual inner experience. Spiritual inner experience. That is, leave your seeing with your eyes, hearing, touching, smelling. Leave these concepts that you get to through your physical senses. Think about something that you can believe in your heart, inside you. That is the inner prophet. In this case, even the prophet outside cannot lead us to God. Mohammad إنما أنت مذكر ولست عليهم بمسيطر. The prophet main rule, main work is to remind us of God. So he reminds us so that we can believe in our heart. That is the heart, which is the area where our God can be accommodated. In a special hadith, it says, لا يسعني أرضي ولا سمائي ولكن يسعني قلب عبدي المؤمن. The entire universe cannot accommodate me. But the heart of the person who have attained faith, not who believe, no. The heart of he who has attained faith can accommodate me. La yasani arzi wa la samai. I'm sure you understand this. This heaven and the globe cannot accommodate me. But the heart of the mu'min, the person who have attained faith, can accommodate me. This is the best way of appreciating God. And in the ayah that I read at the beginning, Alef Lam Mim Zalika al-Kitab, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alef Lam Mim Zalika al-Kitab, La Rayba Fihi, Hudan lil-Muttaqin. Muttaqin. Muttaqin are not those who do night prayers all the time, are not those who pay zakat and salat. I don't mean, please understand me, I'm not negating those things, they are okay. But muttaqin are those who are God conscious, who have attained faith, that they are always with God. God is inside them, not outside them, is inside them. That means when he is inside them, wherever you go, whatever you do, he is there, he sees you, he knows you, he is with you. And هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. Those people who have got a good heart and attained faith and have faith in the spirit. Ghaib doesn't mean nothingness. Please understand that. A spirit is not nothingness. It's only the opposite of material. It is something. God is God. Don't think that ghaib is nothingness, because material is everything else, everything. And therefore, because God is a spirit, he is not matter. And because he is not matter, he is not the subject of material approach to understanding. That is, science does not lead you to God, to actual God. It leads you to the existence of God, but it doesn't lead you to the actual God. And I guess when you come to that area, when you feel God inside you, لا يسعني أرضي ولا سمائي, the heaven and the earth, that is the universe, cannot accommodate me. But the heart of the person who have attained faith can accommodate me. When you come to that, then God is inside you. You're not outside you. Then all your parts, all the parts of you become parts of God. Yadullah. يقول Imam Ali Yadullah, Ainullah. Your arm. Ali becomes, I don't want to create an Islamic Jesus. No, please understand that Mohammad and Ali are not Islamic Jesus, because Jesus is, and that is because people usually cannot appreciate what I said tonight. They always make God, reduce God. They bring it from heaven to the earth so that you can see it. They can't understand God, but they can understand Jesus. And therefore, they believe that Jesus is God. Do you understand? It's the shortcoming of the people who have not the power to attain faith. Ali alayhi salam becomes the incarnation of God's attributes, not God. Then he becomes Yadullah, Ainullah. That is, whatever he does with his hand, that is looking after the orphans and providing the needy people with food, as you know, he is doing God's work. He is not God incarnate, but he is the incarnation of God's attributes. Ali alayhi salam. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Of course, as you know, I'm a sort of academic, and I would like to, I believe that you better solve the main problems, and the rest of it follows itself. When you understand God, when you understand how to attain faith and understand the actual God, the real God, then it doesn't. The rest of the things are very easy. Praying to God, worshiping God, doing salat. When I do salat, I always think that God doesn't need my worship. And my worship is, no matter how good I do it, it's not up to Him. It's not up to His standard. The God of Islam, no matter how high you go, because it's inside you, He is always ahead of you. He's above you. And you have got quite a lot to go to reach Him. I'm starting again, I didn't want to do that. No, I leave it here, and I put myself subject to criticism, not question. You can challenge me. You can challenge me. Not question me. Challenge me.
Thank you for your thought-provoking lecture and speech, and I hope it has created some questions in your mind, and
Search God inside you.
we would welcome your questions.
Challenges.
Question from ladies. So, is a mu'min a person who has attained faith in God? What or who is a mu'min? Difference between Muslim and mu'min.
I tried to say what is the difference between mu'min and Muslim. I go back. It means that I go back to what I started actually. Belief is the subject of physical, sensual conception. Whatever you see, whatever science provides you, you believe in. You believe that today is the what is it, the 8th, the 9th, what was it, 20th, the 30th.
30th.
You believe it, because it's the end of March. You believe tomorrow is tomorrow, it's sun. You don't have faith in tomorrow. You don't have faith in your physical body that you have got to go to the doctor. The doctor doesn't provide you with faith. It provides you with belief. It provides you that you believe that you are healthy, or that you have got ulcer, you have got heart condition. You believe. Science provides you with beliefs. What is beyond science provides you with faith. Faith, you, for instance, you have faith in this gentleman. It's not physical when you have faith in him, not in his physical. His physical understanding is the subject of beliefs, that he is here. But when you have faith in him, it's something more than that. It's in your heart. The heart is the center. Of course, there are quite a lot of other things. When the Quran says, فَقَالَتِ الْأَعْرَابُ آمَنَّا قُلْ لَا تَقُولُوا آمَنَّا بَلْ قُولُوا أَسْلَمْنَا. The Arab said, this is a Quranic verse. It's not, I may not read it properly, but that is how it is. The Arab said that we have attained faith. Tell them that you haven't yet attained faith. Ali attained faith. Khadija attained faith. Fatima attained faith. And the close, special, certain people have attained faith. The Arabs, they haven't attained faith yet. I don't want to say, not all the prophets, those who saw the prophet attained faith. Tell them that you haven't attained faith. You have become Muslims. Islam is a religion. Religion that you have got to do. The subject of religion is Sharia. You have got to follow the Sharia. But the subject of faith is appreciating of something which is beyond your personal sensual conception. It's having faith inside you. That's one of the differences. But the main difference that you would like to very easily understand is that whatever science provides you with, like physics, chemistry, whatever, they are subject of belief. You believe it in.
The exact verse found it is قالت الأعراب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم
ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبهم. God has not yet has entered their heart. Their heart. If God reaches and comes into your heart, then all your parts, even the physical parts, have become the means of incarnation of God's attribute. Whatever you do with your hand is whatever God is doing with your hand. As I said, Aliyun Yadullah Mishan.
Picking up on that for centres like this, and we who try and teach children especially about what Islam is, how they should practice it, there seems to be an inordinate emphasis on how to do Islam, bearing out, but very little attention on why we do Islam.
That's what I have been trying to. When you understand God and become really attain faith in God, then the Sharia, of course, I didn't say that one because we don't have enough time. In Islam, there is no shortcut to salvation. That is, that you reach salvation, you gain salvation, short way. You have got to go through Sharia. Whatever I said about attaining faith in God means this God, once you have attained it, then everything you have, God wants you to do, you have got to do. And that is Sharia. There is no bypass to leave the Sharia. You have got to, after understanding, but everything depends on understanding God first. Islam is based on Tawheed. Without Tawheed, nothing is actually matters. If you don't understand God, this is why Ali alayhi salam said, or one of the Imams said, تَفَكُّرُ سَاعَةً خَيْرٌ مِنْ إِبَادَةِ سَبْعِينَ سَنَةً. An hour of thinking that is attaining faith is better than 70 years of prayer. If you don't understand God through God, whatever we do as prayers are just excuses to find sort of salvation. They are not actually the means of getting salvation.
You see, the question I was going to add to that observation is that you touch on absolutely what I think is the critical reason why Muslims will lose their faith in an atheist, pluralistic environment particularly. Because we haven't recognized that simply teaching our children and our society how to do Islam is not the whole thing, but we don't have the methodology.
We start from the middle, from the Sharia, rather than starting from God. Rather than we have got to start from Tawheed, and then build on Tawheed, but we start from Sharia. And that is why people, especially young people, become, you must understand that the Western culture, the Christian Western culture, it's not a religion, as you know. Christianity is not a religion here, it's a culture. It's physically attractive. It's attractive to young people. And therefore they understand. I understand why they are attracted to, for instance, certain physical Christian Western culture. But if they understand that Jesus cannot be God, it's just impossible that for a person who can think for a few minutes that Jesus cannot be God. And the reason why people have recognized him as God is that because they could not understand God as God, and therefore reduced it, they reduced to something that they could see. It's easy to see Jesus. For us, it's easy, for instance, to regard Ali alayhi salam as God, as Ali lawyers, they do. But that is creating an Islamic Jesus and changing Ali into an Islamic Jesus. That's not. Ali alayhi salam himself said, Lam a'bud rabban lam ara. The God that I don't see. Please understand what he means by see. That is, he sees with his heart.
We are in the middle of or starting of Easter holidays.
Oh, yeah.
People get confused. Do we agree with Christians on the subject of Easter? What is the difference between us and them?
That is another subject of another talk. But briefly,
Just because we are in Easter.
Just because in Easter, as you say. You all know that God has got loads. As I said, the cosmological and teleological argument do not lead us to the attributes of God. Only the third and the last one leads us to the attribute of God. One of the attributes of God is that God has got lutf. Lutf in English, in philosophical and religious literature, means divine grace. Divine grace, lutf. In Christianity, this is good for the young people to understand. In Christianity, the issue of original sin is the major issue in Christianity. Without believing in the original sin, there is no Christianity. Original sin means that God in heaven condemned Adam as the forefather of humanity with the original sin, burdened him with the original sin. Because he disobeyed, the humanity disobeyed. And that disobedience is original sin. Islam doesn't believe that. Islam believes that Adam committed the wrong thing, but he istaghfara and Allah forgave him. But in Christianity, they believe that Adam committed the wrong, the sin, and that was the sin of humanity. And humanity is the sin, sinful person. All the people have committed sin. And that is why baptism has been to wash out the sin of the newly born babies. And because everybody has committed a sin, which he hasn't, somebody else has committed the sin, and he is paying for it. Adam, for goodness sake, Adam committed the sin, and humanity is paying for it. In the same way that he hasn't committed the sin, but he has got to pay for it, there has to be something which can forgive him without him doing anything for it. and that is Jesus being crucified. The crucifixion of Jesus, which has nothing to do with me and you and everybody else, is the cause of the salvation from that sin. So, the divine grace, the Lord, has become the incarnated in Jesus. Jesus is the incarnation of God. God has sent his Son down to be crucified so that humanity can be forgiven, can attain salvation. Islam, as I said, Lutf Khuda is that Allah has provided humanity with prophets, with messengers. I don't know what I think Mulana knows Qaida Lutf. Qaida Lutf is the basis of, because Allah loves us. In Christianity, the loving God burdened humanity with the sin. I can't understand how that loving God can do that. And the loving God sent his Son down here to be crucified. I can't understand again that love. It doesn't mean love, neither of them. But in Islam, God's love, Lutf, has been explained in another way. God, because he loves humanity, he doesn't leave it in disarray, in zalala. And therefore, throughout history of man, there has been not one, not two, not 10, not 100, not 1,000, 250,000 Nabi. They have come to do what? To guide us. It's guidance. Not they haven't come to forgive us. The Prophet and Ali alayhi salam are not Islamic Jesus. They haven't come to forgive us. They have come to shafa'at us. Shafa'at means they are the means of leading us to salvation. They show us the way. They show us the way. Intercession, it's alright. But intercession has become, the meaning of intercession is shafa'at. Shafa'at is what Jesus does for the Christian. We don't believe that Jesus does shafa'at. We don't believe that the Prophet does shafa'at. Shafa'at means that he is the means of showing us the way to salvation. وَلَئِنِ اسْتَغْفَرْتَ لَهُمْ 70 مَرَّةً لَنْ يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَهُمْ. The God is addressing the Prophet, says that if you ask forgiveness for them 70 times, God does not forgive them. For instance, if you owe somebody some money and ask the Prophet to forgive you, to ask Allah to forgive you, if 70 times the Prophet asks Allah to forgive you, God won't forgive him until you pay him what is due. What is due? The Prophet is the means. Ali alayhi salam is the means. Imam Hussein is the means. They show us the way. They show us how we can actually understand, how we can attain salvation. But they don't stand there and say, you go to hell and you go to heaven. It's you who have got to attain faith and earn your salvation. In Islam, فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره. You have got to earn salvation in Islam. Jesus is not there for you to be crucified so that you can be forgiven from the original sin. There is no original sin, and Jesus cannot do that. Jesus, like any other prophet, came to guide us, to lead us to it.
Similarly, some Shia Muslims believe.
Shia Muslims, yes, believe that, for instance, Zorjanah is going to forgive him. No, Zorjanah was a hoax. Imam Muslim himself said, إنما خرجت لإصلاح أمة جدي.
Final question, any? 2 minutes left for final.
I hope it wasn't too difficult. I hope it.
What is the Iman and this about Irfan and all these things?
Irfan is the. That's another subject that I've got to talk about. The Quran said, the Hadith says, كنت كنزا مخفيا فأحببت أن أعرف فخلقت الخلق لكي يعرف. Irfan, شهد الله أنه لا إله إلا الله. Because God can introduce himself, can define himself to us. And therefore, the love of God. God loves himself. God is love. Is love himself. Because he's love, he loves himself. He loves us, created us, so that we can love him. And he loves us as a means of loving him. I think that's enough.
No more questions?
No more questions. No, it's 9:30.
Anyway, thank you for excellent, thought-provoking speech and lecture. We definitely took advantage and learned a lot from your lecture and speech, and we hope to see you again within us. Dr. Ezzati was very close to my father, and
He often, very often actually, many times he asked me to come over here. And while he was alive, I couldn't. He kept telling me really to come over and talk to you. But
do you have any
it happened
memories of him?
Quite a lot,
Share.
quite a lot, quite a lot. There are certain people that, when you teach at the university, there are hundreds and thousands of students, but certain people have got a special personality and characteristic that they remain in you, and they always remember that they used to be your student. They never become mutakabir, arrogant, to deny it. They always, in one way or another. Whenever I was, for instance, anywhere in Idare Jafari, long time ago, whenever I was there, and he was there, he would never say anything before me. And he always asked me to say something. There are lots of memories. And the last time I saw him, that's not a bad. You know, I don't know, I'm sure you knew Shabiul Hassan. Shabiul Hassan was here, and he died very young, fairly young, in Bradford. When he died, I went for his funeral. And I was there the night that he was buried, actually, in the cemetery. And then I saw Shawi Musrif then sitting there, and he was really an old man like me, sitting on a chair, and it was, I think, cold winter.
Yeah.
It was cold winter. But he came all the way from London to be at the funeral.
As I said, Dr. Ezzati was teacher of my father, Maulana Ali ibn Hussain Baqiri, Maulana Shabiul Hassan, all passed away. And he was my teacher as well in HIWM.
I'm still here. Please remember me once I'm gone.
Dr. Ezzati is around 84 years of age, mashallah. Pray for his long life and health, and he continues to provide his services, and he's an active member of the society.
As you know, because it has been mentioned, I don't mention the book, An Introduction to the History of the Spread of Islam. It's quite a good book. I wrote it about 40, 50 years ago. By the way, it was your father who brought the first copy from the printer to me. Of that. I just remember it. That's a good book if you want to understand how I think and what I say. And recently, about 10 years ago, I translated Sheikh Tusi and Nahaya. And Nahaya has been translated from Arabic into English. And my last work was Tafsir Surat al-Baqarah. It's in 1,000 pages. If anybody wants to understand how I approach Quran, he can have a copy of that one. And I'm busy doing something else now. You can get these copies of these books if you think you can enjoy them, enjoy reading them.
So we end the program with dua. If Abid can recite the
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
Can you all recite Surah Fatiha for all marhumin, especially my father and the students of Dr.
الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين